All right. Once in a generation, a student comes into your class that teaches you just as much as another student in that class. And that's this next comedian. Give it up for Leslie.
Good evening, everyone. Do you folks remember that we had an election recently? Half of my friends can't believe that it was only 3 weeks ago. The other half of my friends can't believe that, oh my gosh, it's been way more than 3 weeks. It has to be. Following politics can be really confusing, but don't worry, I've got you covered. All you have to do is think about the parties and the leaders as movie genres, and it all starts to make sense. Let me explain. The NDP thinks they're in a romance. They're a period romance. I mean, Jagmeet Singh spent the entire campaign like twirling his pearls and saying, "Oh, Canada, I know it wasn't just Jack Layton that you loved. You nearly elected us a few years ago. You just fell for the wrong guy and fell for him again and again. But I know in your hearts you still love us." And it took, I think, till this election night for the NDP to realize they're not in a romance movie. They're in a tragedy. I'm sorry, Jagmeet. We're just not that into you. And then the Bloc Québécois. They're an art house film that's playing in a limited release on one screen in a remote part of the city. It's a French film, of course, with no subtitles, and nobody wants to see it. Except for that one annoying friend who's all like, "This is the most important cultural event of our lifetime." And then there's the Greens. What genre are the Greens in? Well, let's see the results of the election, shall we? They went way down in the popular vote. They are reduced to one seat in Parliament. One of their leaders didn't even make it through election night. Clearly, that's a horror show. Then, we've got the Conservatives next. Yes, I think that Polyev looks at politics as an action disaster film. And what does every action movie need? Well, of course it needs the villain, right? The boss level bad guy that's going to destroy Canada, the danger that just increases day by day, the risk that's just might come to and threaten to destroy our country as we know it. No. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about, obviously, the disaster that is climate change. And how does every disaster movie begin? With somebody ignoring the advice of a scientist. But action hero Polyev, he's not constrained by mere science. I mean, he may have lost his seat, but he'll prove his worth and his bravery by running again in what is probably the safest conservative riding in the entire country. And he's got a plan. Axe the tax, drill baby drill, build the homes, stop the crime. Action hero Polyev will certainly win because he can verb that noun. And then we have the Liberals. Under Trudeau, there's no question they were a great comedy. I mean, this is the guy that said, "Here, vote for us. Put us in Parliament, have a seat." He's the guy that never thinks that the old chair pull gag gets old. Have a seat, vote for us, and it will be the last election under first past the post. Surprise! Turns out it really wasn't all that easy. But that's okay. What's that, Canada? Oh, you like a cabinet full of women? Psych! Turns out those broads just got too uppity. Am I right? Ladies. You know what? But we went for it. We laughed our way through the first one. The second outing got rave reviews, but the third one, that one got panned. So the producers replaced the star in the hopes that the liberal film franchise would continue. And you know what? It worked. But whatever else Mark Carney might be, he certainly isn't funny. So he switched up the genre. Liberals are no longer a comedy. They're now a documentary. The boring kind. I mean, sure, it's full of facts and educational content, maybe even useful information. And it's also an incredibly effective cure for insomniacs that don't respond to strong drugs. There's just there's one thing, though, in which politics and the movies are very, very different. I wish I could just walk out after 10 minutes and get my money back. Here's to a refund, everybody. Thanks very much.
You graduated. You can finally get your job.